Hello and welcome to a new playlist on TESTNG. So now we are going to see a framework that is used for test automation, that is TESTNG. What's the agenda today? It's the introduction to TESTNG. We will see some advantages of TESTNG, how to download and install TESTNG, and furthermore we will also see how to install the TESTNG plugin in Eclipse. We will see a sample program, and that sample program will show us the usage of priority and description, and we will also look into certain reports like index.html, default reports and emailable reports. What is TESTNG? This is a brief introduction to TESTNG. TESTNG framework was derived from JUNIT and NUnit. These were two initial frameworks that were used mainly by developers, and TESTNG is especially used by testers, test automation developers. TESTNG supports annotations. We will see what annotations are later in this video. It also supports data-driven testing. It has a powerful execution model, and it also supports parameters. What are the advantages of TESTNG? It supports multiple annotations. It has excellent reporting features that we will see later on, and it allows execution based on groups. Everything will be covered in my later videos. This is just an introduction. TESTNG also allows parallel execution. You don't need Selenium grid for that purpose. So now let's go into Eclipse. I will first show you how to download Selenium and TESTNG. So once you go into google.com, just type download Selenium. You will get this link. Click on this link. You will find this page, and then go down and just click on the Java, this link that you see over here. It's the latest version 3.4.0. So once you get it in your downloads folder, extract it in the folder you want, and you will be all set for using Selenium. The next step is configuring Selenium in your Eclipse. So I have Eclipse open over here. I have created a sample Java project in which we need to add the Selenium jars. The way to do that is right click on TESTNG and go to build path and go to configure build path. Here you just click on add external jars and then select the folder you want, and all the jars will get added to your build path. This is the way you add Selenium jars to your build path. The next step is configuring your project for TESTNG. So the way to do that is go into build path again, right click and go into build path. There you go into configure build path and add the library. So you add the library over here and add your TESTNG library. Next, and then click finish. So the TESTNG library gets added over here. Click on OK, and you are all set to start developing with TESTNG. Next thing is you need to add a class. You have already configured a Java project. Go into the source folder, click on that, right click and say new class. So once you get that class pop-up, Java class pop-up, you type in any name for your class, say first test, then click on OK, finish, and your class will be ready, public class first test. So now we will start writing our methods. So first thing is we will write one method we will just write some test methods which we will be adding more stuff to later on. Just to save some time, I have added some methods like registration, login, reservation, checkout. Now what is special in the TESTNG is you need to add annotations in order to TESTNG to recognize your elements in the class. So how you do that is add ampersand @TESTNG @test, sorry, not TESTNG. So you have to add it to each and every method that you want TestNG to execute. So just add &test. Just add &test to each and every method. And you will notice that there is a red line under test. So you need to import your annotation. So how you do that is import test or .testng.annotations. Click on that and all the red lines will disappear. Save your project. Now it's time to run your test. The way to do that is, there are several ways, but I will show you the first way how to do that is, click anywhere in your project, right click on your project and you run as TestNG test. So you will see a console window that appears and here are your test results. So you can see that the tests have executed in an arbitrary fashion. First checkout has executed, then login has executed, then registration has executed, and finally reservation has executed. So why it did execute in this fashion? We had put the steps in a serial manner, like we were hoping to execute registration first, followed by login, followed by reservation, and followed by checkout. What TestNG does is it executes in alphabetical order. So checkout is executed first, then comes login, then comes registration, and finally reservation. If we want our test to execute in a particular order, there is a special parameter for that, and the way to do that is priority. So what you need to do is, we have to put priority parameter over here. Priority is equal to 1. So first our registration will execute, then our login should execute, then our reservation should execute, and finally our checkout should execute. So once this is done, we will run our test again. Put your cursor anywhere on the screen and right click, run as TestNG test. So now let's see how TestNG has executed our tests. First is registration, login, followed by reservation and checkout. So it executes as we had hoped for. So the way to do that is setting the priority. Priority even accepts negative priorities. The first priority number 1 will be executed first, the lowest priority will be executed first, and followed by other priorities. So this is how you use priority. The next thing I would like to show you is how you put a description for your test. The way to do that is add another parameter, description is equal to inverted quotes registration method. We will copy this in order to save time, and we will put it over here. Okay, we will change this one to login, and then we'll do the same thing. This is our reservation method. And finally we have our checkout method. Okay, we are all set. So now let's see where this description appears. Right click anywhere. Make sure to right click anywhere outside your annotations, otherwise it will execute only that test related to that particular annotation. There it has executed our tests, so we will see what the results are. Do you notice something here? Registration method, login method, reservation method, checkout method. These things have been added because of our description parameter right over here. So that is what our description parameter does. Simple enough? Okay. So it's now time to look into further advanced features of TestNG, which we will look into subsequent tutorials.